Hi, I'm Drew Holmes, lead writer for Red Faction Armageddon, and you're watching Platform 32.
The Red Faction franchise has been knocking down walls and blowing up buildings since 2001, and the third installment, Red Faction Geurilla, which was released in 2009, was applauded for its fully destructible environments and the lifelike physics it applied to the toppling of buildings, but many players were turned off by the repetition of the missions and the throwaway plot. Platform 32 were given the chance to try out the newest member of the series, Red Faction Armageddon, at a recent press event. And from what we played, it looks very much like the developers have taken aboard the criticism and crafted an infinitely more compelling game. While we were there, we bundled Drew Holmes, lead writer on Red Faction Armageddon, into a very dark room and asked him what won with the game.
Red Faction Armageddon takes place about 50 years after Red Faction Geurilla, and you're playing as the grandson of Alec Mason, the main character from Geurilla. His name is Darius Mason. And pretty much at the start of the game, there's this big war on the planet, and this evil cultist leader, Adam Hale, has attacked the terraformer, which is kind of keeping the atmosphere stable on Mars, and eventually destroys it, sends everyone underground. Just as society has started to rebuild itself, Adam Hale returns, rears his ugly head once again, and tricks Darius into releasing this menace that's been hidden under the planet for eons. And now it's up to Darius to kind of clear his name and save the planet.
During my short playthrough of the campaign mode, I noticed Armageddon has dramatically changed in gameplay style compared to its prequel. Volition have now ditched the open-world Grand Theft Auto on Mars approach of Geurilla and gone with a much more linear experience. But why?
Well, one of the things we did was kind of look at what Red Faction Geurilla did and what we were we were commended on, and that was our destruction and our combat. And with Geurilla, the problem was you'd have these great destructive firefights, but then the building would be down, the situation would be over, and you'd spend all this time driving to find the next cool thing to do. And so with Armageddon, what we wanted to do was kind of make sure that destructive experience, that combat was core to the design. And so by bringing it down, bringing it way more focused, we're able to keep you on this destructive path and really crank up the fun.
Another massive change to the gameplay is the introduction of the ability to repair objects using Darius's Nanoforge, a wrist-mounted piece of Uber technology which reconstructs man-made objects in seconds by firing a swarm of microscopic nanites at them. But why on Earth, or Mars, would you want to do that? I thought all the funds was to be had in blowing stuff up. How will this added ability affect the gameplay?
It affects it greatly in a lot of ways that are positive for design. I mean, with Geurilla, we didn't have that ability to repair things, and so you'd run into scenarios where you might want to have this really cool combat on top of a building, but if the stairs are gone, you're not going to be able to repair it, you're not going to be able to get up there, you're not going to be able to experience that stuff. And so with Armageddon, we said, you know what, we never want destruction to be a hindrance. We always want you to go and find the coolest things to destroy, the coolest things to bring down, and by adding repair into this, we're allowed to build a whole level full of catwalks you can run across and blow stuff up and repair them, because you're never going to be stuck.
At first I found it tricky to get my head around repairing things. It felt a little at odds with the Red Faction universe. However, once I got used to it, I found it invaluable, and it's a great addition to the game and a massive improvement on the gameplay. Plus it opens up a whole host of new strategies and defensive and offensive options, whether you're battling humans or creepy aliens. To power the awesome destruction in Red Faction Geurilla, Volition used an engine called Geomod 2.0. But for Armageddon they've slapped an extra 0.5 on the end and created Geomod 2.5. But why the fine tuning? Was the immense amounts of blowing uppery just not immense enough for you?
We're working on optimization, right? Making things blow up a lot better and a lot quicker and a lot faster. You're not going to see a lot of the instances in Geurilla where you take out all the supports of ability and you'd still kind of see it teetering and tottering. We really wanted to go for the more action heavy, like crazy over the top explosions, destruction, and keep you on that focus path.
Sweet. So it's all about pushing the game along and making sure that unrealistic destruction physics don't ruin your gameplay experience. And from what I've played, Volition have totally nailed it. But how advanced is Geomod 2.5? Will this new destruction engine allow you to destroy your surrounding environments? As most of the game takes place underground, will it be possible, for instance, to cause cave-ins?
No, we really focus the destruction only on man-made objects, things that are built in the world, and it's a lot easier. We found, it's easier to tell players, if it's man-made, you can destroy it. If it's not, you can't. That distinction is very, very clear, and people pick on it quick, and it allows them to kind of use destruction as a weapon.
Like the majority of people who bought Geurilla, most of my playtime was spent blowing things up, especially that large skyscraper building in EOS. I spent hours devising the perfect way to bring it crashing down in the Demolitions Master activity. Will there be any megastructures to destroy this time around?
We've got some big stuff that you can bring down throughout the campaign, and also, in our ruin mode, it's kind of our free-based destruction mode. Big towers, figure out the best way to bring them down, bring them on top of structures. So yeah, that type of big monstrous destruction is still alive and well in Red Faction Armageddon.
Ruin mode was also playable at the event and is similar to the Wrecking Crew mode in Geurilla. After choosing your weapons from the large selection available, you're given a time limit to cause as much damage as possible on a small ruin mode map. You need to build up point multipliers by destroying buildings as quickly as possible in order to rack up the big scores needed to get a high leaderboard position, and it's actually really addictive stuff. I spent a good hour on it working out the perfect strategy and best weapons for bringing down the buildings. Talking about the weapons, there are a few new ones this time around. Can you let us know what they are, Drew?
We've got a lot of cool new weapons that we built, specifically for Armageddon, things that really kind of show off our destruction engine in a way that you're not going to see anywhere else. We've got, our plasma beam, which shoots out this, beam of fire that, basically cuts through a building like a hot knife through butter, just slicing things left and right. We've also got our plasma cannon, which shoots this giant ball of plasma that'll just go tumbling through buildings, causing massive destruction everywhere. And really, what really shines is our signature weapon, the magnet gun. It's pretty simple. You shoot one target and it'll tag onto a destructive object or an enemy or what have you, and you shoot a second projectile, and then that first projectile will get flung at high speed towards. So you basically, all of a sudden, a wall is not just a wall. A wall is now ammunition for you to kind of achieve your goal.
The magnet gun was tricky to use at first, but once I got the hang of it, hilarity ensued. Squashing aliens between walls and shooting containers so they fly from one side of the cavern to the other, taking out baddies as they go, is just plain awesome, and it's a totally unique weapon. The only thing I could compare it to would be Just Cause 2's grappling hook, but that only tethered people together. It never let you slam a whole building into a bad guy's face, so basically, magnet gun wins. Talking of unique weapons though, Red Faction Geurilla had the most unique weapon of any game ever. The Ostrich Hammer, which was an unlockable weapon in the multiplayer mode. Will the Ostrich Hammer be making a welcome return in Red Faction Armageddon?
We have something new and special just for Armageddon. So yeah, we've gotten a lot of feedback. People really like the Ostrich Hammer. So we've got something new. We're gonna be we'll be unveiling eventually. Yeah.
Okay, Drew. But if you had the chance to choose any animal in the world to knock down a building with, what would it be? Me? I'd take a nice big swing with a blue whale. Whammo! Job done.
The whale's a little too unwieldy, I think we really nailed it in terms of animal-based destruction. The ostrich is the way to go.
So there you have it. If you want to bring down a building with a mammal, the best one to use by far would be an ostrich. With the new linear direction that the campaign mode is taking, really helping to keep the action and story moving along at a fast pace, it looks like Armageddon is going to be a much more immersive and fluid experience than Geurilla. Plus, with the added bonus of the super addictive ruin mode and a couple of as yet unannounced modes, there will be plenty here to keep everyone entertained. In fact, I'm not afraid to say that I'm looking forward to it so much, Armageddon myself a copy as soon as the game gets released this June. Oh man, I really forced that one in there.